Hi, I'm Chloe Lilac, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
Chloe, it's good seeing you again. I am really digging your latest single, Moderation. I love this like punk kind of vibe that you have to it. And I just love the energy with it as well. Can we talk about like the creative process of this track?
Moderation, is definitely one of my favorite songs I've ever made. First of all, I made it with two of my favorite people. Sean Kennedy and Andy Seltzer, who are two very talented men, and I love them so much and they get me. And basically I had fought with a close friend and she told me that I made her uncomfortable. And that's something I've gotten before because I'm a really intense person. I just kind of full swing. I'm very extreme. So people don't really know how to deal with me sometimes, which, is their problem. But it definitely affects me because I hear it a lot. So people only really like me in moderation, because I'm really intense. So whether that's for better or for worse, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of about that and my struggle with depression and self-esteem. And I have an EP coming out called Douchebag, and that's a theme, and the EP really is self-esteem and coming of age and friend falling outs and breakups and stuff and I don't know, actualization, I guess, I don't know, perception. So yeah, thank you for saying that about Moderation. I love it too. I'm really proud of it,
I feel like it was a different style for you as far as recording or maybe even in the writing process as well. How different was it to kind of write this song and on top of that be able to record it the way that you did?
Dude, it was sick. It was I went in and to be honest, I usually go in writing about some pretty lighthearted stuff, stupid boy drama, or I don't know, usually at that point in my writing process, that's what I was writing about. But I started talking about this fight I had with my friend, and they were like, dude, let's write about that. And Sean was I relate really hard, let's write a song about people only really like me in moderation, So it was definitely different to write a song about something that wasn't, it was more an internal song. It was about me versus I've written mostly about other people, or if it's about me, I write it in the third person, so it seems like I'm writing about someone else. But this one was really about me. So that was really intense. And then also recording the vocals was so much fun because we were in Andy's old studio, and I don't know what his new studio looks like. COVID, he moved around a little bit, but we were in his studio and they were just fucking rip it at the chorus, just go. And I don't know, I remember my voice sometimes when it reaches a certain level, it gets this tone in it. And one of the takes, it got the tone, and I'll always remember them being yes, that's what we're looking for. So recording a rock song was so much fun too. I love rock. It's a big part of who I am and what I'm passionate about. So it was really sick to make a song that I would listen to. Not that my other stuff I wouldn't, but it's a little more pop than the stuff I like to listen to in my free time. So it was sick. I was yo, this is dope.
Now, did you write Moderation while you knew that Douchebag EP was going to happen, or did Moderation happen and then the idea of Douchebag kind of started from there?
Well, Douchebag, the EP, is named after a song that I wrote in the same weekend that I wrote Moderation. So I was in LA for like, I think like 3 days, and we wrote Moderation, and I wrote Douchebag with my friends Grace and Martin. And which is like a completely different vibe than Moderation, like just so worlds apart. But yeah, I mean, I think that weekend I was just kind of like ready to fucking go. Like I had been through like a pretty tough like 2 months, and I hadn't been in the studio for a little while, and so I was like just fucking ready to rip it with song ideas. But yeah, I mean, Moderation, I didn't know I was making an EP at that point. I knew that like I had a couple songs that I was really passionate about, and maybe we would release as singles. But I didn't know it was going to be like a whole like EP yet. I thought maybe it was going to be like a mini project or something, but then it just kind of like I kept writing songs and it turned into something bigger, which was really cool.
With this EP, did you finalize it before this whole COVID quarantine kind of happened, or did you still have to kind of work on it while COVID?
Well, we had it done. Like we've been had it done, and we were gonna put it out in like March, like literally a week, I think a week after COVID really hit, especially like here in New York. Like it hit us so hard here. So that was like really shitty. Like I was like, no, because we were gonna like tour it. Like we had a whole plan for it, you know. And then it just kind of kept getting pushed. But one of the songs called Jansport, I made in quarantine. So we swapped out one of the songs for Jansport, just because like Jansport felt a little more real and like a little more like honest than the other one. So we swapped it out. But yeah, I mean, we were gonna put it out like months ago. So that sucks. But what can you do? Everyone had that happen to them. So it's not like,
right.
You know, it is what.
That's funny you mentioned Jansport, and I immediately had flashbacks of high school.
Yeah, dude. Jansport's like one of my favorite songs on the EP for sure.
So what challenged you on this EP, and how different was it from your debut?
Well, that's a good question. I think what challenged me was really like trying to figure out, because those songs like span from like I made them like last year to a couple months ago. So kind of finding a medium between, because there are like a bunch of genres, like different genres that I've done on the EP. So there's like Moderation, and then there's like Obvious, which is like way more like almost R&B. So I think it was kind of like being okay with like not having a consistent sound throughout. Like it wasn't upsetting. I was just kind of like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? Like, is this valid? Like, does this suck? And I've come to the conclusion that it might, but like, it's fine. Like, it's my art. So I got to be okay with that, you know? But yeah. And also the challenges were like getting it pushed all the time. Like, you know, cause things just kept popping up, you know, and it wasn't really the right time. Like that was really, really painful. Cause like my fans really wanted, because I played the songs on tour. So they all like really wanted me to put them out, and like especially Douchebag. Like they've been waiting on Douchebag for like almost a year now. And I feel so bad. A lot of it was out of my hands. But yeah, that was definitely a challenging thing. And I think my sound has changed a lot. Just through like getting older and kind of like finding who I am as a person. When I made like Manic Pixie Dream, like I made that from when I was like 14 to like 17. So I like totally didn't know who I was as a person. Whereas like now I still don't. Like I'm always changing, but I definitely have a better idea of who I am. And I'm definitely like, so proud of this EP.
That's awesome, and I love that you're kind of testing the waters with like different sounds and styles, because it's like I feel like you can nail every style,
Thank you.
especially with like listening to your debut, and then listening to Moderation, and then listening to Obvious. So it's like I feel like no matter what genre you decide to write about, I feel like you still kind of nail it, and you know how to like record and release that song properly.
Dude, thank you so much. I try. Like, I don't want to be like nailed down to a specific genre, but
Right.
it definitely freaks me out because there are some people that like have like a really, like, they're like, this is my thing. And I don't know. I love all music. So I want to do it all, you know? Like, I want to do beat boop music. I want to do like hard rock music. I want to do punk music at some point. I want to do jazz. Like, I want to do everything. I love all music. So I'm trying to like I think being okay with that was the struggle for sure.
Right.
But I've come to terms with it. Like, I'm like, that's fine. You know? Like, I don't know, man. There's so much pressure, especially like being young at a label. Like, there's a lot. I love RCA, but there's a lot of pressure just to like know who you are instantly. And like, I don't think that's how it works, you know? Like, I don't think anyone really knows who they are. At least not at my age. Like, you have an idea of it, but especially not like to like pin down a specific thing. Like, who am I as an artist? Like, that's such an abstract thing to try to like put your finger on, you know? So yeah, but I think I'm finding it for sure. Like it's been a journey.
But I'm sure you're having fun doing it, and I think that's what makes your music pop, because it doesn't sound like you're being forced to write this or you're being forced to be in a lane. It sounds like you're experimenting and you're enjoying the process. So I think that's what makes it like extra special with everything that you're creating.
Oh, dude, thank you so much. That's so true. Like, that, I'm having such a fantastic time. Like, I love making music. It's my favorite thing. And especially like in all the songs I've made, like, I don't know. I really love, especially like my fans. Like, I just love my fan base so much, and they're so supportive and amazing. And they also love all music. So I think I attract that type of person, like that type of fan that like loves like rock music and then also loves R&B.
Right.
So I'm really lucky to have that. And I'm really lucky to do all of this. I'm super grateful, you know, and it's super fun. Like, I'm having a really good time. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I'm really
awesome.
lucky. I'm glad it translates.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does. But when this drops on the 28th of August, like what would you like your audience to kind of take out from this EP?
That's a good question. I think I just want people to like relate as much as they can, like, because I know like I've recently been finding like a lot of music that like I'm like, this says everything I wanted, like, but I can't say it. So I'm hoping that it empowers a lot of people. I'm hoping that it like does that though, for the most part. Like it puts into words what like anyone has wanted to say but couldn't, you know what I mean? So like with douchebag, if like some fucking asshole fucked you over, like, and you couldn't find the words to say it, I'm hoping that like that song really like does it for you, you know what I mean? So that's my biggest one. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, I hope people can like relate to it on that level.
Oh, that was perfect.
Hey.
Well, thank you again for taking the time. I always love talking to you because you're so easy to talk to, and two, like you genuinely are passionate about this, and you know you're just as excited during the writing process as you are during the recording, as you are during the releasing, as you are during the interview. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Wow, that's so sweet. I'm so glad. Anytime. Thank you for having me. This was so much fun, as usual. I'll see you next year, probably.
Yeah, exactly. We'll figure it out. Hopefully in person again.
Yeah, hopefully.